Come, and with me, flip through the pages of the scrapbook of life. Welcome to the Scrapbook of Life with Teresa Khalil, a podcast on my journey to understand life, solve its mystery, and live it fully. So this episode is exceptional because in every episode I will have a guest who probably changed their belief. We will navigate their life timeline together and try to view life through their lens, and how they are overcoming suffering and life challenges, and explaining this experience of existence. I think I should first introduce myself and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm Teresa Khalil, a writer, documentary filmmaker from Egypt. I spent most of my life in the Arabic world, and I've been living in Europe for about 12 years now. I'm a questioner since my childhood, and I was never happy with this life experience. For me, it is an experience of suffering that leads to death, and yes, there is beauty in life, but it is always disturbed by what we call life challenges. Like a beautiful warm summer evening with mosquitoes getting the hell out of you, or a beautiful painting with stains of blood on it. When I say this, people usually tell me to kill myself. And those people don't understand what I'm saying, because my problem with life is death. I don't want to die. I don't think any human being who has this instinct of surviving would like to die. I couldn't dare to share my view of life before because people get really upset when I do. They get really angry, and I know why. People want someone to lift them up. They already have enough suffering of their own, and they don't need someone to point it out. They are living it. They need someone to show them how to deal with the suffering, how to accept it and even love it, because they know that they can't change how life is designed. You can't appeal for less suffering or ask for mercy. I mean, you can ask, but it doesn't mean that your request will be taken into consideration or things will change. Also, for me, life is confusing. You are born into this body, and the body keeps changing, and you are not given a catalog. Actually, one of my quotes is, unfortunately, we are born without a catalog. And you don't know how to understand yourself, how to go through life smoothly. I had a long journey with experimenting, for example, with different diets, trying to answer the question, what is the best diet for me? And after 5 years of experimentation, which you can see on my other Arabic channel, Fukaira, I'm still confused. I also had another journey, trying to figure out who I want to be, what I want to do, and I started with engineering, then graphic design, documentary film directing, content creation now, and it goes on. On top of that, I had another journey that was very, very long, about 9 years, where I was trying to find love and my life partner between Egypt and Europe. I knew what I wanted, but it wasn't easy to find him. So yes, definitely life is confusing, it is not easy, and suffering, confusion, and death were my reasons to be an antinatalist. And I made a video about my story with antinatalism on my channel Unique TV. But I really want to change my view of life. So I decided to go on this journey to meet people who are living this experience of existence through a belief that makes them overcome suffering and live life the best possible way, and hopefully answer the mysterious questions of life, such as, where did we come from? Who am I? What is the meaning of life? What will happen to me after I die? How to live this life the best possible way? The Scrapbook of Life is a documentary series, and the first documentary was released recently, where I met Wang Songyang, and how discovering a new belief, which is Buddhism, was essential for him to overcome the difficulty of leaving his homeland, China, and adapt to his new life in Croatia. In this first film of the Scrapbook of Life, you get to explore my observations and discoveries of what life is and how to navigate it in peace as I follow Wang Zongyang lifestyle and engage with him in a long conversation, trying to understand his view of life and if it makes sense to me. So the documentary is already on YouTube now, on my channel Unique TV. You can go, feel free to surf his whole timeline or just choose some points and reflect on them. I had the idea of this documentary series in 2005. Every time I saw someone old, I couldn't stop myself from questioning. I wonder, how was their life like? How do they feel as they are now coming closer to death? And what do they think of life at this stage? I applied with this idea to a workshop for documentary film directing, and I was selected, and this workshop put me on the way to documentary directing. But I kept postponing making this film specifically because I felt I wasn't ready. It was very important to me, so I wanted to make it right. I did my master's in documentary film directing. After that, as a doc nomad, I made a short documentary at the beginning showing my view of life, but the film was heavily criticized and wasn't received well. And I remember one of the directors was like, why you are showing life as if it's just cycles of birth and death? Life is beautiful. And no matter what I said, it wasn't easy to make people see life the way I see it, or to make this director see life the way I see it. Because I was filming in a nursery home for old people, so one of the directors also told me, you are using those people to your own benefit. And I couldn't understand, what does this mean? Like, I'm just there in this nursery home filming how people are going about their life at this, you can say, like, final days of their life. And I was attacked heavily. And I remember one of the directors, she was the only one who was defending me, and she was, you don't have to agree with her view of life, but the documentary is good. But yeah, it affected me in a negative way, all this criticism and attack. And the film is called It Goes On. It's just 5 minutes, and I will share it on Unique TV soon. But anyway, all this discouraged me from expressing myself and showing my own voice and proceeding with working on this documentary. The sad thing is that the reason why I wanted to become a documentary filmmaker was to make this documentary. At the time, I didn't know that it would be a documentary series. So I was doing other things, other films and videos, trying to get funding for the Scrapbook of Life, developing the idea more. I applied for more than about 100 organization or association trying to get funding for this project, but I was not successful. So I thought, okay, I feel now ready to do this documentary, and I will produce it on my own on a low budget. And that's how the first documentary came to existence, and also how this podcast is now coming out. If you want to support this journey and you are also curious to understand life, solve its mystery, and live it fully, and you want to see the big picture of life, feel free to support my creations. All the information is in the description box and the show notes. I'm really looking forward to what I will discover during this journey, and I'm open to all possibilities. But I'm hoping that this will make me more in peace and satisfied with my existence. Satisfaction and being in peace are very healthy feelings, and if you know me from my Arabic channel, I care for healthy living. I'm also hoping that meeting people from different walks of life and beliefs will make people have like 10% of uncertainty, which is, in my opinion, the first step to tolerance. So, what about you? What is your belief and how it is helping you to overcome suffering, if it does, or does it cause you more suffering? Let me know. Subscribe, click all the notification possibilities, and if you want to join me on this journey, get in touch. All links will be in the description box and the show notes. You can join me on my newsletter. You can go to terezakhalil.com and receive a monthly letter with my discoveries and news. This podcast will be on Unique TV YouTube channel. If you want to see me and to see the visual aids I will use in telling the stories of the guests I will have. And it will be also on all kind of podcast platforms. Now you can go and watch the documentary, The Scrapbook of Life, Wang Songyang, From China to Croatia to Buddhism, and see you in another episode.